Miller, a long ball. Bradman, Best. Best goes in. We're locked up again. It's 32 on 32. Newcastle to kick for the lead. And again, it's a tough assignment.
Yeah, poor penalty from Kyo Weeks on the last play. Gave Newcastle great field position upfield, attacking the Manly line, and it's great work down this left-hand side. Brayley, a beautiful pass to Lockie Miller, who's really injected himself again with the footy this afternoon. It got Bradman Best one-on-one on the line there with Morgan Harper, and he just got on his outside, did enough with the right-hand fend and just fell over the line, and what a kick it is now for Lockie Miller.
He's so powerful, close to the line, Bradman Best. Backs himself, as you mentioned, got on the outside of Harper. It was a mismatch then. Best, a big man that close to the line, gets over. Lockie Miller again involved, up that short side. Fullbacks making the extra man, playing an extra 5/8 now.
64 points in Mudgee. Fans are loving it.
Let's keep it going.
So
Not sure the coaches are.
We hang on this conversion attempt. They've used Jackson Hastings today.
Oh, hold on.
And Lockie Miller, but
hold on.
Hang on.
Looking for a potential knock-on from Bradman.
Oh, he's had a whoopsie in him occasionally, Bradman. I thought he got it down.
Bradman Best has the ball in his left hand. He then loses possession and it touches a Manly player, constituting a knock-on.
Hang on, he hasn't lost possession there.
So it's before this. The grounding from there is good, but Grant Atkins in the bunker has spotted a little loss of possession in his eyes into Manly. And there are plenty of Sea Eagles fans here applauding that decision. They're muffling the protest from the Newcastle fans in this house.
We can't believe it, Bradman Best. He's serious.
Can't be serious.
Here we go.
Here it is, and he's in the collision there.
Ooh,
gee whiz. Oh,
just we're nitpicking now, aren't we?
That water bottle.
Tough gig, isn't it?
Feared for its life.
Yes, it did.
So, Daly Cherry Evans to feed the scrum, 10 outs. Just under 6 minutes left. Manly.
Oh, high tackle there.
Coming back, having been in real trouble not so long ago. We hit the 60-minute mark and Newcastle in front, in control. It's been a big finish by Manly. And now they receive a penalty. Their job gets slightly easier to close this one out.
Just looking at the Manly side, it's Anthony Seabold that's taken off Kyo Weeks and Lachlan Croker back onto the field as Parker carries hard.
Now Kelma Tuolangi, the man who started the comeback. His try in the 59th minute, followed by Kyo Weeks in the 67th, Ruben Garrick in the 69th. That run of 3 tries gets them back out by 4. Aloye.
Good defence again from Jack Johns. Pretty physical this afternoon.
Paseka surrounded by 3 Knights. Croker. Tom Trbojevic. Another try here would just about get Manly home. And they get a repeat set. The kick towards Mudgee in the air. Olakawatu was up for it. Now the ball comes free, picked up by Manly.
The ball gone backwards there.
Tom Trbojevic, I thought, landed short, then got rolled onto his back.
Got a captain's challenge. Manly are challenging the on-foot decision of a knock-on.
What's the tackle from Mudgee? Is it Croker that comes through to pick up the ball?
Kid Chase is onside. Just looking to see who gains possession first. Manly have possession at this point, take clean possession. Just need some perspective to see the direction of the ball as it comes out.
Mudgee pulls the ball out, so it's play on.
Yeah, it's play on.
And then it gets scooped up by Croker. Watch the tackle here from Mudgee, who's almost falling over from the previous play.
Greg Mudgee takes the ball one-on-one. So we're restarting the tackle count.
He's held up.
The ball did go forward, so it's restarting the tackle count. The ball is not grounded, so we have tackle 0 Manly.
Okay, so knocked on by Mudgee in that original contest. Then he has the try saver on Croker. But it's tackle 0 to Manly. 4 minutes left.
I think they'll come left. That's where they've looked really good this afternoon when they've come left with Tom Trebojevic.
Here we go. Paseka. Who's going to have the biggest finish? Manly or Newcastle? Croker, Cooper Johns. Here's Josh Aloiai. He'd love to score the final try. Jerry Evans pulls up, goes back the other way. And he's crunched. Phoenix Crossland through on him. Penalty to Newcastle.
Yeah, Olakwatu just comes in and gets hold of Lachlan Fitzgibbon here.
Let's go.
Well, here's a late twist.
Joey, we have a captain's challenge. The on-field ruling is Hamoli's taken a defender off unfairly. They believe there was prior foul play.
Bit to look at here.
Yeah, well, he took a disliking to something, Matty Olakwatu. He came flying in and just threw off Fitzgibbon.
There's nothing in the lead-up. Hamoli Olakwatu grabs Lachlan Fitzgibbon, who doesn't have the ball, and pulls him out of the tackle. The challenge is unsuccessful.
So Lachie Fitzgibbon just had an arm up around the neck, chin of Daly Cherry Evans, but there didn't appear to be any.
No, and Anthony Seabold is filthy. Like, they've worked so hard. That remind people that have just started watching the game that it was 28-16 to Newcastle. They had worked so hard to get back into the game, Manly, and get themselves in front. And in great field position midway through an attacking set, Olakwatu does this.
Yeah, 28-16 in the 59th minute.
Yeah.
Favour.
And it was all Newcastle. It was all Newcastle.
In the comeback, and now they invite a late twist. They're at the wrong end of the ground for the time being, the Knights. Does Saifiti give them some go forward? Not a huge run from Daniel. Hastings to Crossland. Tyson Frizzell. It goes through the hands to Gagai down the sideline. He's running out of room. Has to throw the ball back in field, and Frizzell gets there in time. 2 plays left. Crossland. Here's Jack Johns. Room now. Bradman Best accelerating. And there's Harper up around the neck. Ball and all tackle. Last play. Crossland. It'll be a kick and hope across the ground. Out towards
Young.
Dom Young. Flies high and gets there. Dominic Young gets 4 for the day. Young, the aerial expert, the man for a crisis. Adam O'Brien feels a lot better now. The kick from Crossland gives a 4th try to Dom Young.
Yeah, misdirected pass from dummy half on the final play finds Phoenix Crossland, and what a kick it is. Lands it right on the try line. Here's the run from Gagai. He did well just to keep the ball in. Went so close to the sideline, keeps his feet in just somehow, Frizzell. And there is Phoenix Crossland, who just drives it across field. And it was Garrick and Young in a shootout. And Young, who has had a tremendous day, 4 tries. The Newcastle winger flies high above, comes down with it perfectly, and puts the footy right on the line, and a chance now for Newcastle.
Well done there by Phoenix Crossland to come on. If you had a look at that replay, Jackson Hastings was right in position. It was beautiful. He said, get out of the way, I'll take this one. The crossfield kick. And Young, what a finisher he is. Great leap.
So Lachlan Fitzgibbon has this kick to give Newcastle the lead. He's nailed both today. to go 5 from 7 for the season. Arriving at Newcastle from Cronulla, from a more regular first-grade rugby league, scoring tries, assisting tries as well.
This is what they play for.
Now he wants to be a winning goal kicker.
He's going to need to start it well outside the right-hand post. We saw Ruben Garrick with a couple of shots in the first half, and the ball just turned away towards that left-hand side.
Remember, Newcastle haven't won back-to-back games since the first 2 rounds last year. They're trying to find the front here. Lockie Miller has pulled it across the face. He called it perfectly, Michael Ennis, and the dueling fans sideline might have a few more minutes to navigate here.
Golden Point thriller in Mudgee. The Wembley of the West is about to go into Golden Point.
Manly headed to Golden Point for the second consecutive weekend. Last week against South Sydney, it was 12-all at full time. Lachlan Elias cruelled them in a 13-12 defeat. Here they are 32-all with Newcastle. 47 seconds left.
Well, how big does that penalty from Olakau'atu become? It was an enormous moment. Sin Bind, they scored 2 tries today with him off the field, and then some poor discipline just invited Newcastle down the other end.
Olakau'atu, try scorer, he's done some good things, but that is a big moment in this game. That penalty conceded, inviting Newcastle down the field. Croker out there playing the ball. Miller. It's 6 tries each. Hastings.
He's not.
Beats Parker. Goes long down the ground. It rolls away from Tom Drabojevic. So full-time sounds. Tom Drabojevic will have the final possession of regulation. And for the 4th time this season, we are going to Golden Point.
And Golden Point for the 2nd week in a row for the Manly side.
How good.
Beaten last week.
Not a single person's left the ground. Tom Drabojevic just taking no chances at all. They can't believe it, Manly. They worked so hard from 28-16 down to Seabolt and Flanagan, just planning how to handle this Golden Point, but deep inside they'd be livid, absolutely livid that they're in this position.
Let's have a look at the way that we got to Golden Point. Manly leading at 32-28. And this kick from Phoenix Crossland. Take it away, Blocker.
Oh, how good is that try? He's been absolutely outstanding here this afternoon. Dominic Young out-jumps his opposition there in Ruben Garrick. The Manly side arrived just a little bit too late. And he's a good finisher, this bloke.
Just watching Jackson Hastings looking up at the coach's box here to Adam O'Brien, signalling that they want to go right to left. So they must feel that there's either some breeze behind them or they've had better success going towards the northern end of the oval here. But he was adamant. He was adamant in his conversations with Adam O'Brien, who's riding every moment as always. There's no nails left, Adam. Well, shoot them all off.
I hope he doesn't know that. I hope he doesn't know that Newcastle has the worst Golden Point record in history. They've won only 3 of their 15 trips to Golden Point. But here's the twist: 2 of those wins have been against Manly. A Scotty Duro field goal in 2008, a Mitch Pearce field goal in 2018. So they might be bad at Golden Point, the Knights, but they're good at Golden Point against the Sea Eagles. Make sense of that, Michael.
It was about this time of year where Jackson Hastings last year for the Tigers against Parramatta Easter weekend, which is next weekend, landed the Tigers' first win of the season with a belting field goal. Cherry Evans, well, he's one of the masters, isn't he? One of the masters. He'll be the man that Manly are looking to.
Well, they've gone with the breeze, haven't they? Looks like they've won the toss, the Newcastle Knights.
We've touched on Daly Cherry Evans' 26 career field goals.
Unbelievable.
In 25 games for 23 wins. Well, in the Newcastle lineup, career field goals, Gamble 2, Hastings 2. And of course, Gamble not out there because of that HIA inside the final 15 minutes of regulation time. So is Hastings the man for Newcastle and Daly Cherry Evans for Manly? Or is there a trick option for either side? Enjoy Golden Point from the Golden West in Mudgee. Next up, St George Illawarra against the Dolphins. Here's Croker. Over halfway. Wasn't it Watts from Aloiai? Last play, Hastings. They're not in field goal territory, so Hastings nudges us out towards Ruben Garrick.
They're not taking any chances there, Jackson Hastings. Not a lot of depth on the kick. Manly will like that. Jake Trbojevic from Manly looks like he's going to go the distance today. Phenomenal for a middle forward. Hasn't had a rest all day. He's worked through the middle. His effort plays have been huge.
Tom Trbojevic lobbing it over the top. Here's Morgan Harper taking good metres. Crossland low with Marju over the top. They get back towards halfway mid-set. Olakau'atu.
They might get a chance here. Cherry Evans.
Look at him just hovering behind the ruck here. Great
Yella Paseka accelerates.
Here we go.
Puts them in position. Daly Cherry Evans waits on the right. Instead, he'll kick. Putting it in the air out towards Marju. Lockie Miller instead racing through, casually taking the bomb. That could have been a mix-up.
Gee, I thought he would have went for it then.
So did I. So did I, Block. That was a great run from Paseka and a good play the ball too.
Did he not like the distance and not want to give them a 7-tackle set? But he looked set, didn't he?
He's had a big second half, hasn't he? Lockie Miller.
Here's Bradman best. So who's going to get in position first? Some would argue that Manly have already found position. Croker, nice and direct, takes a good tackle. Trbojevic low.
Let's see if he puts a bit more on his kick.
Over the top, and Croker stayed down. Hastings again going high rather than long, not wanting to risk a bounce and a 7-tackle set to the opposition.
Tackle one.
He's coming from the field, Matt Croker. This was brutal from Jake Trbojevic. Like the timing and the technique.
Yep.
Just counting his ribs on the way off.
Mate, he's in deep trouble. And you don't like to see it, but watch the technique here. Talk about cut in half. Bang, just hit him right under the rib cage, and then coming from the inside. Helmet's all up.
50 tackles last week for Jake Trbojevic. That was number 40 today. His 40th was maybe his best.
So good.
Tuolangi. Yep. The ribs are still being realigned. Josh Aloiai.
Good carry that. They need a big power carry here. Here comes Paseka.
Two plays left. Tom Trbojevic. So they find themselves in a similar position to the previous set. Tom just walks forward a few more metres. Daly Cherry Evans again, the same option. Out towards Marju, along with Miller. There's a mix-up this time. There nearly was a moment ago. Marju dives. He's going to be just into the field of play. Oh, that was a car accident waiting to happen.
Well, how did he recover from that?
Great run there, Lockie Miller. Look at that, 12 metres off his try line. Can you believe this?
I thought a moment ago, gee, those two have a good understanding. Well, maybe not. Saifiti.
Good carry that.
Johns. Another solid stop.
Who is
and
it?
Again, that's tackle 41.
You don't even have to look to see who it is
The
there.
last two may be his best two. Jackson Hastings down the ground. It's Rugby League rewind at the moment. The same plays unfolding. Hastings kicking out towards the eastern wing.
They are out on their feet.
Cherry Evans kicking towards the western wing of Newcastle.
What a game.
Players absolutely out on their feet here. Marju and Best struggling just to get back on side.
Olakau'atu 8 short of halfway. The petrol warning lights have come on.
Weeks.
Weeks. Prominent in that comeback surge by Manly. Late in regulation time. Now Daly Cherry Evans goes straight through, cut down from behind. Gagai it was. A try saver perhaps. Croker now. Croker goes very close. Chris Butler says change it over. They go within a whisker.
Wow.
85 minutes in, and about 4 blades of grass stop Manly wrapping it up right there.
Gee, that was nice work there from Cherry Evans on the previous play. Looked like he was going to split them. Anthony Seibold just driving his information down to the sideline. And here's Croker out of dummy half. Leo Thompson unable to get back on side. And just sheer desperation there from the Newcastle players. Miller there again.
I tell you what, the rest of Super Saturday has something to live up to. Off to Wollongong very shortly. Dragons, Dolphins, and then to Suncorp Stadium, the unbeaten Broncos. Do they go 5-0 for the first time since 1998? That's ahead. But first, given how close Manly came right there, who is going to go that little bit closer and seize the moment in Mudgee?
I don't know,
well,
Matty. It's just gone end to end all afternoon. And just when you think Newcastle are getting on top, Manly come back. When Manly get on top, you think they find a way back.
What was the amazing thing for me in that extra time period there was Jaylee Cherry Evans was 30 out in perfect position.
2 or 3 times.
And kicked a crossfield. Is he injured?
Right. Players now getting set. It'll be Newcastle to kick off. And I mean, if there is any assistance at all, Newcastle opted for it in the first section of Golden Point. Now Manly have it. I like the injection of Weeks. Looks sharp around the ruck. His speed against some of the tiring forwards. And not a single person has left the ground.
5 lead changes, thrilling the fans in at Mudgee. There are Republicans in the centre of town saying, where is everybody? We expect them to be here by now. What's going on? Well, we've stayed for some Golden Point, and aren't we enjoying it on Fox League? Back to our original point, both of these teams unbeaten in Mudgee. Manly 2 from 2. Newcastle successful in their only outing. Who's going to stay unbeaten here and take the 2 premiership points? Or do we get to the end of Golden Point and call it a draw?
No, we can't. We need a result here. It's been too good a game.
Jake Trbojevic. And now Cherry Evans trying to spin away from Bradman Best. Crossland goes low and finishes the tackle off. Well, what's the play? Is it an error? Is it a penalty? Is it a break that puts a team in field goal position? Remarkable, we had no shots at field goal in the first period of Golden Point. How often do we see that? Now Daly Cherry Evans kicking from 10 metres his own side of halfway. And Miller almost through. Taniela Paseka. That's a big tackle from the starting front row forward. Now Hastings trying to catch Kelma Tuolangi offside.
Definitely going to get a shot at field goal here, Newcastle.
Young, the 4-try star. What about his day? Not named in the team originally. And he comes to Mudgee and finishes with 4. That play was more sideways than forward.
Absolutely. What were they doing, Newcastle?
Thompson. Is it now? Lockie Miller standing in behind the ruck. Hastings positions himself. Jackson Hastings, the kick deflected. It falls for Croker. They get it at the 20-metre line. Tuolangi slips and through quickly.
Yeah, it was Tom Trbojevic and Josh Aloiai. Massive play from Josh Aloiai there. Getting the charge down, ricocheted back to Croker. Manly survivors. Bullimore comes onto the field for Paseka.
Likewise, big play from Gagai to shut Tuolangi down before he took cheap metres. Dane looking to celebrate game 250 with a win. Well, they're all being made to earn it.
Great carry, look at this.
Bullimore it is, surging forward Ethan Bullimore. That's tackle 5. Daly Cherry Evans waits on the right. Here he is again, their conductor, their match winner, driving it to the left on this occasion.
Now, who was that got to him too?
Leo
Just put him
Thompson.
off. Effort play, that one.
7 tackles now for Newcastle. 7 tackles will give them a shot, you would think, at field goal.
Thompson, well, he's He's run out of petrol. He was just tackled 20 metres out. And now Best, not a lot to go forward there either.
Here he is, though.
Miller.
He's their meter eater. He's been enormous again this afternoon. Over 200 metres.
Was around the ankles. It was a dodgy play of the ball, let's call it that. Legal, but a little wobbly. Play allowed to continue. Hastings. Jack Johns.
Need a big carry here. Here he comes, Mudgee. Yep.
And he's met. Upping away from one. Still going. Greg Marzu.
Here it comes.
It was Jake Trbojevic to stop him. Jackson Hastings feigns to kick once. Again, it's charged down. Look at the pickup. What about that slips catch from a man who's made more than 40 tackles and played every minute? He is a machine, Jake Trbojevic.
Yeah, he's not human. He's just not human, Jake Trbojevic, what he's getting through out there in the middle today. Cherry Evans came out hard on that right foot, then dived and lunged at the kick from Hastings. Tom Trbojevic carrying now. Here we go, Manly pressing for a field goal.
So we've had 3 failed field goal attempts.
Where's Bullymore? He's a man. Leg speed in behind the ruck.
Instead, it's Garrick Blocker. Taking tackle 5, 35 out. Daly Cherry Evans looking for the 2-point field goal. Any point will do. That one's poor, and it Grubbers dead in goal. 40 seconds left. They have played themselves to a standstill. That old rugby league cliche, summing it up best right here.
I still feel something's going to happen. It's not over yet. Someone's from Newcastle here is going to try something.
The last Golden Point draw, round 3, 2020, and Newcastle was involved. Penrith against Newcastle. The Fox Sports Lab all over this. Brayley.
2 more plays.
Brody Jones didn't have a lot to go forward. Jackson Hastings, he's a long way out. He gets it high and long, but just wide of the mark. It was his best strike of the day. Tom Trbojevic gets away from Dom Young. Hang on, hang on. Golden Point has expired. Reuben Garrick takes the tackle. What a game in Mudgee. What rugby league we have seen. And for the first time since round 3, 2020, we have an NRL draw. Take a bow, Newcastle. Likewise, Manly. It has been thrilling from kick-off to full-time. Fantastic tries, length of the field action, brilliant defence, Iron Man performances, failed field goal attempts, and at the end of it all, we'll share the premiership points.
Yeah, players just out on their feet. The skill that we've seen in Mudgee today, it's been awesome here. Down at ground level, the track was so fast, and you just got the feeling when we came here today, we were going to see plenty of points. And boy, we've seen some great tries. We've seen some incredible effort moments from players. And at the moment, here's the strike from Hastings right on the end of Golden Point full time. I thought for a moment Dom Young was going to go the one-on-one strip with Tom Trbojevic. Hastings' face as it agonisingly drifts right of the post, and the players just out on their feet.